Hi, this is Jane Douglas for GameSpot UK. We're here with Patrick Bach, executive producer on Battlefield 3. Thanks for joining us today, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
I hear you're tired of talking about Battlefield 3. Would you like to talk about something else instead?
No, no, I'm fine. I'm actually not tired about talking about Battlefield 3. I'm tired in general.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine. Well, in that case, let me talk to you about Battlefield 3. So, yeah, people are pretty excited about that, and especially about Prone. Why is Prone such a big deal?
I don't know. I think people got a bit upset when we removed it. Well, we didn't even remove it from the Bad Company series because it was never a part of the Bad Company series. And then people thought that maybe, we're evil and stupid. So now we're back to the core Battlefield series, and of course it's back in.
Okay, all right, Prone aside, we'll take it back to basics. Pretty much, obviously, all our users are familiar with the game. For anyone who's managed to escape it so far, give us the setup real quick.
Well, all Battlefield games are first-person shooters. We call it all-out war because it's not only infantry, it's vehicles, and there's some gadgets you can play with, and there's a lot of strategy when it comes to the team play. That is a layer on its own. You don't have to play as a team, but if you do it, you add a new dimension to it. So it's a very social, experience to play Battlefield.
Obviously, it's looking beautiful. That's thanks to Frostbite 2. What should people be looking out for specifically as on the run-up to the game? What's going to look amazing in the new engine?
I think pretty much everything looks better with the Frostbite 2 engine, and of course there's it's not the engine itself. We don't have a make pretty button in the game, but the team that is building this game is very talented. It's the same team in many cases as the team that built the Battlefield 2 game. So there's a lot of accumulated knowledge that is being put to good use when we're building Battlefield 3. I think looking at not only the lighting of the environments, but also the animations of the characters and how real, the people in the game. I would stop calling them characters actually because they look like real people.
Okay. In terms of the sound as well, I mean, Battlefield Bad Company 2 obviously was very well renowned for its sound. What are you doing that's special in Battlefield 3?
Well, of course, we're like always, we're enhancing even the things that are already great. So sound is no exception there. In general, sound is very. It's very important that sound plays together with the rest of the game. So since we have this, very quite unique style and tone of the whole game, it feels quite authentic. The sound needs to follow. Bad Company 2 was a bit more tongue-in-cheek, happy bunch of guys doing crazy stuff. The sound fitted really well. Now we're going in a more authentic direction, and of course the sound then needs to be more authentic as well.
I was going to say, actually, Bad Company 2's obviously got a very different tone to a serious military modern shooter. But so we're not going to see any of that, any kind of like character-led story stuff with the sense of humor.
Characters, yes, but not that type of characters. It's not the same, tongue-in-cheek kind of humor. In general, it will be more, real and serious.
Okay, sure. Tell us about the decision to go to a Battlefield 3 game rather than a Bad Company 2 game.
It's the game that everyone has been wanting to build and the game that everyone been waiting to play. So it's a very natural move for us now. The reason why we couldn't do it earlier was actually because we didn't have the technology to build it. Because it's looking at the game that you've seen today, it's we couldn't have built that with any other technology than the Frostbite 2 engine.
You've got the 64-person multiplayer on the PC and 24 on the consoles. It's quite hard to make a splash with first-person modern military shooters. What are you going to do that's different in multiplayer?
I think Battlefield as a core mechanic is already very different from every other first-person shooter out there. Just the fact that we have the vehicle layer on top of the infantry layers is one thing. We have the huge open battles, big landscapes, jets, helicopters, tanks. No one else is really doing that. And then on top of that, we're doing the more narrow urban fights as well.
Okay, and then back in single player, we've seen some really short campaigns for some first-person shooters of late. How do you feel about that? And I mean, perhaps you can't talk about length, but how do you feel about the length of the single player campaign in these kind of games?
In general, I would pick a great short campaign rather than a good long campaign. I think people in general have a concept of more being better. I don't agree. I think better is better. So I'm not saying that we are aiming for a short campaign. We're not, because we want to give you value for money. But again, there's no point in creating a too long campaign if it's not great.
Just one more question. Although we're obviously hugely excited for Battlefield 3, what happened to Mirror's Edge 2?
I can't comment on that. Battlefield 3 will be out this fall for PC, PS3 and 360.
That's lovely. Thanks very much, Patrick.